I'm Ilker Stark with Sports Car Boutique, and I'm also the team principal of SCB Racing. One word to describe my team: hustlers. My boys are hustlers because most of the team or a part of the team works in different jobs. They hustle there, then they come over here. They hustle over here, then we go racing. They hustle at the racetrack. And then I don't know what they do at nighttime, but I know that they're hustlers, and without them, this would be, not there what you see today. When the team is smaller, that we have to work harder as a team, and it just forces you constantly to look for that edge. And we're still fortunate to be in second so far, and we're going to try to protect that and defend it as much as we can.
I'm Parker Thompson, driver of the number 3 Sports Car Boutique entry in the Porsche GT3 CUP Challenge by Yokohama. On paper, we shouldn't be beating the larger teams that we're racing against, but I think that's our advantage here at Sports Car Boutique is the crew is the guys working from 9 to 5 on Monday to Friday, and they show up after their work week, and we get to work on the race team. So it's a very tight-knit group of guys, and we all want to win, and we're all driven by our passion.
My name is Mike Kello. This is my first year at SCB, and I'm an engineering intern. One part that not everyone realizes is just how much engineering goes into these cars. If we're not coming up on a race weekend, I'm typically involved in designing parts to use either by the guys in the pits or on the cars. It's really cool to see it just from a sketch on a notebook to actually being used.
My career in racing has been the story of fighting for every opportunity that I've had. I don't come from big money. I don't have the ability to just come in and buy rides and be successful. I've always had to fight with teams that are maybe a bit of the underdogs. They don't have the funding, and I've been successful that way. And I think this year is a very similar story. Sports Car Boutique, we're not the dealership, and we don't have the big money backing us. Ilker's done a fantastic job for us to fight on a budget. So that's I would say that's definitely a chip on my shoulders in order to show up to these events in Canada with our Porsche Cup car and compete for wins, even though we don't have the highest budget. The build up to the Honda Indy started in round 1 of our championship all the way to the Honda Indy. It's arguably our most important race of the championship. For Sports Car Boutique and I, it's our home race. Sports Car Boutique is from Toronto, so there's a lot of pressure there with a lot of our fans and supporters coming out. And then on top of that, it's one of the most well-attended races, and it's happening in downtown Toronto. It's our only street race. They shut down the streets for us to race there, so it's just a very unique event. And it's unique in the fact that if you make a mistake driving the track at any time, unfortunately you're not going off into grass. You're probably hitting a concrete wall. Now, what's going to be interesting too, and we'll have to look at it on the data, but whether or not this is better to get the car straight and get on power and launch, or it's better to roll.
So during the race, if you're controlling it, okay, fine. But in quali, this is going to be critical as regards your sector time.
Yeah.
Because it's uphill.
Yeah.
We had a storm roll through the Toronto area, and that put things on delay. And when the Porsches went out, that track was still extremely wet, so I could see why they would go with those rain tires instead of going with the slicks.
The weather was not in anybody's favor. We had that torrential downpour right before race 1.
20 minutes before the race was supposed to go green flag, I've never seen so much rain in my life. Starting 7th place was not optimal. I made the best of it though, and we got into the top 5 early in race 2. But then unfortunately, we had to do some accident avoidance. There was a car that got into the wall, and I believe turn 8 in front of me. And I had a choice. I either had to hit the car in front of me or go into the tire wall. And the tire wall sounds a lot more comfy than the other car did. So I chose the tire wall. Unfortunately, when I got into the tire wall, the car stalled. I had to back up. By that time, the pack had already taken off and we had fallen back to last place. But a yellow flag came out and the safety car came out, which packs everyone back up. So I regained the field in last place. We drove up from 7th place to 3rd to claim not only the last podium position, but also the Yokohama hard charger.
My relationship with Parker is I've known him for quite a while now. We both grew up in Red Deer, Alberta, and he helped me get on with this team and get to where I'm at. And I've really enjoyed working with him on a professional level, and I really respect the drive he's got.
You're happy with Parker, but you know that there is 4 or 5 guys that are so close, within like hundreds, within like tens of each other.
Where does my drive come from? I love this sport. I love the feeling of a whole team coming together to engineer something to go really fast. And at the end of the day, racing fuels my need to be super competitive.